obviously this is a kind of a big game for you. What are the emotions, what are the thoughts about going back to where you just started for the last 4 years?
I'm excited, ready to play, but obviously just another game starting now, like getting prepared for that game. Things like that first Big Ten game, so we know how physical that's going to be, everything like that. But I'm just excited to go back and play. Well, like you said, where I was at 4 years ago, like it's a lot came with that. I put in banners, like one of the first, with the most wins from us, so I'm just excited to go back.
When you committed to Penn State, how important was Coach Ferry to your decision and to your development when you were there?
Oh, really important. I actually committed to him before I committed to Penn State. So like, I'm just a big guy on loyalty, and it's like one of the guys that started recruiting me early, and like we built that bond, and I trust him. So it had a big decision to do with that.
Did that then have a big decision or a big part in the decision to ultimately not come back for a 5th year, him not staying there?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, like I just want to like finish. I feel like my old coach that was there, and we could have rocked out, but things happen for a reason, and I'm glad I'm here now.
And what sort of reaction do you think you'll get when they announce your name on Sunday? What do you think the Penn State fans might do when they hear your name?
I'm not really sure. Like probably both. I have both worlds. Some cheering, some booing. It's just how it go. Like I done had like a couple of fans and friends reach out to me already, saying they're excited to watch the game. They're gonna be at the game, stuff like that. But obviously, they're a school. We're a different school. We competing, so I won't be surprised if I've got a couple of fools and whatnot.
Jamari, are you able to actually help, the Buckeyes with the tendencies for other guys that you used to play with on Penn State at all, or is that really not something that they ask you to do?
That's not something they ask me to do, but that's something I do because it's gonna help us win. So just talk about each player's strength, because I played with them for 4 years. So just helping our scout even go farther and stuff, just telling like what to expect from each player and stuff like that. Because at the end of the day, I want to win, and that's all that matters, win. So I'm gonna do whatever it takes to get that win.
And how would you break down guys like Seth and Sam for Penn State, and what makes them, stand out and makes them so good?
Just run Seth off the line. He'll quit. He'll streaky scoring. So once he gets started, it's hard to like stop him off. So just make him feel uncomfortable all night, make it hard for him, which we do as a team. And just state our principles. We feel like if we just control what we can control, then we'll like the outcome at the end of the day.
For both of you guys, coming off of the win the other night, I assume you want to carry over that momentum into this game. How do you not let there be a letdown after beating the #1 team in the country?
Right. Yesterday, doing after I practice, coach wrote up the stat sheet and everything like that game in the past. Like we can't keep living on that game. It's on to the next. We have one game not gonna make or break this season, so we just gotta keep building on.
Yeah, just kind of what he said too. Like I feel like we can't be stuck in the past. Like it's a long season ahead of us, and we got a good team in Penn State. We gotta focus on playing for.
Does this game almost become even bigger? I mean, I know it's a conference game, so obviously there's that side of it, but just to keep that momentum, is this almost bigger than the last game because of that fact?
Me personally, I feel like every game is bigger because you just building on. You don't want to look at the past, and like this is Big Ten play, this first league play game, so we know like
Definitely got to make a statement.
Yeah, fact. So,
Jamari, you have an experienced Big Ten play in an Ohio State uniform, but you obviously know what Big Ten play is like. How do you describe it to players who they're going into their first ever Big Ten conference game?
right. Just telling them it's gonna be very physical. A lot of ups and downs. Bring your old road attitude with you, because in this league it's hard to win on the road. And just really just be ready to battle for 40 minutes.
Is that something that you expect coming in? Malaki, is like that physicality of the Big Ten?
Yeah, I hear it a lot. The physicality of the Big Ten. I'm ready for it. I feel like I've been tested. Through these games, but I know it's going to be a big test on Sunday.
Okay, well, you talk about being tested. I was thinking about in the Florida game, you had a two-headed dunk from the right block, and you got blocked from behind.
Yeah.
And I was thinking that's probably never happened to you before.
Yeah.
When you talk about being tested to things, how much do moments like that remind you of like the level and what it takes to succeed when you're playing here?
It means a lot, for real. You know, on that play, I feel like I kind of went up slow, and it was kind of easy for him to block. If I would have went up fast, I would have easily got the bucket. So just stuff like that, you know, I work on things in practice I need to get better at. So, you know, just kind of adjusting and just playing at a faster pace.
Coach Holtman has talked about that sometimes in a game, if you might make a mistake or two, that you get down on yourself a little bit, and he has to kind of try to bring you out of that. Where do you think you are in that process of getting more used to that, knowing that, you know, it's a tough level, you are going to make mistakes?
Yeah, I feel like I've grown in that area a lot, you know, since high school until now. I feel like, you know, if I make a mistake, I just get it back on the other end. I feel like that's where my mindset is at, and it's been that for a couple games, especially these past games. So, yeah, I've definitely got better at it. Just, it's an improvement, you know, I just got to keep working.
And you and Michi have some of the highest usage rates among freshmen in the Big Ten. They're obviously counting on you guys for a lot this year.
Yeah.
The way that the last game ended with Jamari and with Cedric out there, what is it like to watch the last couple of minutes of a game where a team makes a run, and obviously the coach is going to stick with the guys that are doing well, but what was that like for you to watch that last 6 minutes or so and see those guys put together a run?
Yeah, it was great. You know, just, you know, cheering on my teammates. That's, you know, just being a good teammate. You know, that's one of the things Coach Holtman wants everybody to be is a good teammate. And, you know, I really was just trying to get the dub. You know, I didn't care if I played or not. You know, I was just cheering on my teammates and trying to cheer on the rest of the team on the bench and just trying to get us locked in, you know, just to help the team on the court. So.
Malaki, is there an area of play that you've seen a lot of improvement in over like your first, say, 8 or so college basketball games?
Area of play.
Like whether it's scoring, driving,
Yeah.
passing, like is there an area?
I feel like my passing, just like reading like decisions in that moment. I feel like that's been my improvement so far. You know, I make the right pass. You know, I still got to improve in that area, but I feel like I've been improving game by game by now.
Jamari, I'm just curious, what do you feel your role is to try to score for this team? Because, you know, people can, you know, scout you, look at your, you know, past season box scores, and notice you're a defensive specialist. That's where your bread and butter is. But you always seem to have, you know, throughout the game, a good few open looks, and when you knock them down, it seems to be a real difference maker for the team.
Right, just just keep being aggressive on the end of the floor. Just be more aggressive. Like Coach just taught me about things like that. Like take what the defense give me. They gonna go on the screen, give me that shot, and take that. Things like that. So just keep picking and choosing my spots on the floor.
I'm also wondering, and I know you came to a new team, but you played such good defense throughout your entire career, and everybody knows that. Is it fun to show that to freshmen who are just coming to the team for the first time? It's sort of like an initiation of this is what the defensive intensity is like in college basketball. I'll show you firsthand.
Yeah, absolutely, because at the end of the day, it's going to make them better, and they on my team, so I feel like just us competing every day in practice and just showing them that side, like, it's going to be very physical and just showing, like, if you score me, you score anybody, so I feel like it just make them better all around, just make our team better at the end of the day.
Did you get to experience
Yeah,
that?
a couple
Malachi?
times, you know, yeah, he guarded me a little bit, so he stuck the ball a couple times, but I also got a couple buckets on him, so, you know, it's definitely good to compete against him and the other guys in practice. So.
Jamari, when you talked about that road mentality, do you like being booed? Does that fuel you? Does that drive you?
Yeah, absolutely. Just the booing, the talk, trash talking, all that, that just get me going and get me to the next level. Cause like where I'm from, that's how we play anyway. So just I've been playing like that my whole life. So just bringing it up to this level just gonna help me even more.
This crowd that you're going to play in front of on Sunday has cheered you for so long. Like,
Right.
How weird will that be if you do get some of those boos that you said might happen?
I'm not sure how until it happens. I'm not sure how I feel, but at the end of the day, like I really don't care about what they say, anything like that. Only thing I'd be happy is we can walk out there with the win. So at the end of the day, then I get the boo.
Sorry, what did it feel like a couple years ago? Ohio State came in there ranked, and you guys had your way with Ohio State that season. What did that feel like to there was the crowds or the court storming after the win? How did it feel to be a part of that moment for that program?
Big, because it's a good moment for the program at the time, and just competing with my brothers, still my brothers to this day. It was big, things like that. And we always like joke about it, like the coaching and stuff, just about the games, old past games we played each other, things like that. So it was big at the moment.
To sweep Ohio State that year?
Yeah. They always say we took a championship from them that year, so we always joke about that.
And what was your reaction when you saw that this was the first Big Ten game for you? Like you transfer, first time you're gonna go on the road for Ohio State has to be the place where you just were. What was your reaction when you looked at the schedule?
I'm like, dang, that's crazy. But I'm excited too. Like, I'm glad it's like that. Everything happened for a reason, so.
Jamari, I'm curious because it's one game in Big Ten play, and then you're back to kind of non-conference games. But I mean, having experienced that before, I mean, what is that like? Is it kind of just a taste of, okay, this is what it's going to be like full time come January, and this is where we need to be? Or how do you guys approach this one, knowing it's kind of I mean, it's a huge game, it's a conference game, but it's a one-off, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it'd be big, and I just feel like this schedule we had, this non-conference schedule, prepared us for this first Big Ten game. I feel like we got one of the hardest non-conference schedules in the country, so just playing all these games leading up to the first Big Ten game is going to help us out a lot. But like you said, it is the first Big Ten game, but at the end of the day, it's just another game. We just got to focus on ourselves. We can't look at it going into like, oh, this league game, stuff like that. Like, we just know it's going to be more physical, just expect what's going to happen, but just to control what we could control and do what we do, and we'll like the results.
We got two more. We'll have Timmy and then Spencer.
Malaki, I was just wondering if there was a point in that Duke game, you got into a mid-range groove early in that game, you hit a few shots. Was there sort of a pinch me moment? I don't know if you were a college basketball junkie when you were growing up, but everybody knows Coach K and Duke. Were you just like, man, this is this environment, everything about this?
It was crazy. I love games like that. So I was just trying to do my part. I had a couple good open shots, and I was able to knock them down. So.
I know nobody really wants to play in a tight game, and nobody wants to lose one like you guys did before the Duke game. But to have those kind of games in the non-conference under your belt now, and be able to go into Big Ten play, having experience, not just some like rough and tumble play, but also like the tight games where you really have to be on it the final couple minutes. Like, what does that do for the locker room? Not just on the court, but like for the locker room to know, like, hey, we can get through these kind of games and come out, against the number one team in the country and beat them in that kind of game.
I feel like it just make us even closer, like tighter and things like that. We always believed in each other, things like that. But moments like that, it just shows like in basketball, every possession matters. So you can't take a possession for granted. And just getting that win, just bringing us even closer, things like that. And just learning from our past mistakes, like when we had a tough loss against Florida, learning from that and bringing it over to the Duke game. Down when we get in that situation, we know what to do. We know how to handle it to come out with the win.
Thanks, fellas.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Thank y'all.